everybody. This is Freaky Table. My name is Joan, and I have Yana and Ko in the building. But joining us on set is the man from Nabstar Radio, Nabstar TV, Nabil Fongod. And today we are going to be talking about someone who trended the entire year, 2020, for his music, for his style, for his endorsements, for everything. Stanley Enow and his impact in social culture in Cameroon. Guys, welcome. My goodness, I feel so alone as a girl. Except... Welcome, Yana, Ko, Nabs. Welcome on board. We're good. It's good to have you here.
It's my
We just nominated you, Freaky Table's Sexiest Man Alive in Cameroon.
Yes.
So we are offering you
golden balls. Yeah, bring another one. I need two. I got two.
the colorful one.
More like that.
Okay, the pink one.
Stay gold.
Golden balls.
You cannot give me one golden ball and a pink
golden
ball.
balls.
We have two balls.
Okay.
Golden.
Freaky golden ball. What's he doing?
What are you doing?
What is that?
I want to hang him. Can I?
Oh my God! Please, we have Honor is watching the show.
I'm off on that television.
welcome, Nabs.
Oh, man.
It feels good sitting here with two golden balls dangling and amongst
Oh my God.
amongst this very distinguished group of people. I'm going to take my balls back. I'm just gonna keep it
Never look at this thing.
I want to.
Joe, what did you just do?
Oh,
Just keep his balls.
Damn.
oh my
It's
God.
definitely Freaky Table.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Freaky
it
Table.
is.
Welcome. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in
Merry
advance.
Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. So we cannot wait to say that.
Yeah, man.
2021. Well, let's just stay back in 2020 for a minute. And that's Stanley Enow, one of those names that I don't think we are going to forget in a very, very long time because of his impact, what he's done, what he may not have done in the music industry and generally social culture. We all have been following this guy since he started 2013 with his big song Hein Pere to recently to Valile. And he's made a lot of money from that song, even though it was acclaimed trash. So, Stanley Enow, what do you think about the man, though?
He's more of a brand than a musician, actually. Like you have Stanley Enow, the musician, right? Mm-hmm. It's underperforming as Stanley Enow, the brand, right? As a person. So you see that he's been able to show the way, right, in terms of how to evolve beyond your music, right, beyond just your craft, and existing as a brand that can keep the bank rolling. Mm-hmm. You see that if you look at his catalog of music, you can handpick the ones that have been hits, but you cannot for endorsement deals you cannot even start counting because they rank really high. And another thing too is it's how he's been able to position himself in the market, in the game, right? That's attracted these brands in terms of what he stands for, what he says, the way he puts himself out there, just not involving himself in conflict. So you see that it's him knowing that, well, if you have to do music, man, you have to do the business of it more than the music itself, because that's what actually pays. Music doesn't pay like that. So,
in Cameroon in particular.
Yeah,
And Nabstar, you've been in the entertainment industry for more than 10 years. You run a massive radio show back then and now. And you should know the musician, Stanley Enow, more than perhaps all of us are seated on this table. What can you say about Stanley Enow? What do you think he has done to the Cameroon entertainment industry?
I think the same thing is going to take away from Stanley. I think from 2013, the impact that Hein Pere had on the urban cultural scene and Cameroon on the map, period. I was in Cameroon, but I felt the wave out of Cameroon way back. And I think at that point in time, that's when I decided, I think it's about time that, everybody go back home. You know what I'm saying? This is very heavy. It needs a lot of support. You need a lot of people to carry this, you know what I'm saying? And at that point in time, I also felt because I used to rap for a long time, So at that point, I also felt people can do this now. I can do something else with my experience than, being out here and rapping and stuff with people. And those one of the things that actually made me come home. So that you cannot take away from him. See, now, what you call a hit is very relative, because I think in Cameroon, we overget sense. I tell you, what do we? People overget sense. People want to understand you want to do song, you want to like say mathematics, you understand? You have to bring compass to understand. You don't need all of that, you understand what I'm saying? And I think something that Stanley has discovered and he has been doing for like 8 years, 7 years now that people are not still getting, they're focusing on things that are not important, is the fact that Stanley knows how to pick the hits. And a lot of artists, I think artists are being killed. Producers are killing artists in Cameroon because, first of all, artists don't write hits. They write hits, you know what I'm saying, but they don't make hits. Producers make hits and give artists a hit. And that's why people are wondering, like, why is because they're giving you a hit, you can do bam, bam, but you can do whatever you want to do on it. And as long as you know how to brand it, have a smashing video to go with it, have any rhythm that people can vibe with, you go with it. Like, who has asked what Olamide is saying in songs that everybody's dancing on? Naira Marley that barely speaks English in any of his songs, that people are already understanding what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? The messages are clear. If you're a hip-hop guy, you understand a few things. There's a lot of hip-hop messages in that song. And for someone like Stanley, who stays for a whole year and has a lot of controversy online, it's only right as a rapper to drop that controversy on your track. And he does it so well, so good, that you don't even need to, like, you know why it's like feuds with Stanley have kept so many years and he's never been online? It's because he answers in the song immaculately, properly right as far as hip-hop is concerned. And so when people still wonder, like, is he an artist or is he not an artist? But that's that hip-hop game that nobody else is doing. And when you want to go down to the music and music of it, like, you have to give credit for that creation of that music. I think at this point in time, I grew up in an era where it's all about purists, you know what I mean? Like what hip-hop is really about, who's doing this, who's doing that, you know? It's also been like that in America, it's been like that everywhere in the world. You have those rappers and you have the commercial rappers. When you get to the commercial rappers, you don't worry about the laws of hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? Worry about what he's selling, even though he's able to put it together.
All right, so I mean, speaking about controversies, that's one artist, Stanley Enow, has been, like, they talk about him for no good reason. And then they talk about him for all the reasons. Like, he's back and forth, the good people's books, the bad people's books. Some don't just want to hear him, some want to hear him all day. But when it comes to the way he keeps himself off scandals, like the way he manages scandals, not keeps himself, like manages scandals. What can you say about that?
I think Nabstar said it so brilliantly, that Stanley has used whatever discussion, what would have been depicted as conflict, to his advantage. So he has used it in his music, he has used it in the way he's branded himself, he's made himself bigger than those things, in a sense, such that he really, and he keeps winning. So you really cannot, put him down. It seems that way. You really cannot put him down. The only reason why I don't really feel like he's somebody who really gets into trouble or who creates trouble. But that because not that it necessarily makes him, but that because of the scene in which he finds himself, he's always compared to. Because he is arguably the leader. Because of how commercial he is, he's arguably the leader. And there is an argument as to whether he deserves that position. And so because of that argument, he's constantly there. You don't see Stanley necessarily actively going after anybody. But the position of being number one commercially makes it in such a way that he will always be in the shadows of people saying, no, but you don't deserve this. This person is a better person to you, and all of that. So it's how he now owns it that makes the difference. So he doesn't get into the banter and all of that, and say, if he gets into it, it's only through his music.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. I mean, I think unarguably that guy has done like the highest number of collaborations an urban artist in Cameroon has ever had in history, like history of Cameroon urban music. When it comes to his collaboration, the choice international, you mean, or just international, like generally his collaborations that he does, like. Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to his collaboration, the choices that he made, the people he brings in to do the songs with him and stuff, what does that do to his music career?
To be frank with you, like I want to say this very clearly. There's not too much on that aspect as far as I'm concerned, because the songs that Stanley has done with all the great artists he's done, unfortunately, are not nowhere around the top 10 from any of those artists, from views to popularity and everything. And what I think he could have really ripped from it, from all those collaborations, is Stanley should be a very active, I mean, I don't mean like background artist, I mean frontline active in the urban scene in Africa. Based on the fact that, when you have someone like Diamond, you should be selling in East Africa. He should have done shows there by now. He should have been able to do a whole lot from the feature on Davido. He should have been able to penetrate Ghana a whole lot more with his feature with Sarkodie, I think, and also the rest of stuff that he's done. Plus to the fact that he actually has the potential of being the biggest African artist, because I've always said this for a long time. We are Cameroonian, so we're bilingual. Stanley is Francophone as well as he's Anglophone. He's the only person who can be able to actually get Ariel Chenet and get Diamond Platinum on the same song, and everybody feels that vibe, because that is what Cameroon is made of, and that is the global picture of Africa. And the fact that he's been in that position, and has not been able to have that impact is the only, thing I could spot on based on his career.
Comma in his career.
It's a comma. And I also want to say, I think a lot of people don't understand, but a lot of purists have that. It's not really like what people think on the internet, oh, this guy is better, that's why. No, I think it goes down to the point where a lot of people who are purists believe that, you're not supposed to represent hip-hop if you cannot deliver to this extent. But at the end of the day, it is like you say, who's winning or who's not winning. You can say 50 killed hip-hop, you can say it's 50 made hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what angle or perspective you see it from.
Yeah. Right, endorsement deals. I think that's the most endorsed entertainer we have. In 2020 alone, where, everybody's checking their pockets and seeing how much coins is coming out, he is running to the bank and seeing how much he's putting in there. 2 endorsement deals, major endorsement deals in 2020 with Bubble Up and the other one, Samsung. Landed in almost 100 million francs CFA in 2020 with poverty and everything. How does that place him on the market now? Should he increase his price in 2021?
No, the fact that he's having those type of deals already tells you about his positioning and the type of clout that at least these brands perceive that he has on particular audiences. So I think it already tells you that a brand like Samsung does not take you to. He's not necessarily advertising the luxury side of Samsung because of the clientele that.
People have these debates on whether he is the most bankable artist in Cameroon. Some people say the numbers are not telling, he should prove this, he should prove all of that stuff. But when you have this kind of endorsements and collaborations, and the fact that they don't even see you that often. And recently he partnered with his fashion designer, Wizcliff, to have the Motherland Wizcliff fashion store in Douala. But I'm sure he must have some flaws, something that...
I think that first of all, musically, and I'm not a purist, but I really think that I've described his music, the lyrical content, as elementary stupidity. It's so stupid it pains the head. Of course, I understand the commercial value that can come with things which sound like nursery school. It's fine. My biggest issue, however, has been that I do not see the trajectory in terms of personal growth, career growth. So I don't see him getting into artist development. I don't know how he would develop an artist even. So I don't see. Since the music is not there, it would look like the logical thing that would happen, like PDD, would be to give other people, share your platform and grow other artists. But I don't see him. This is 7-8 years, and I don't see that. I see him doing more collaborations with TZ and more Kameni, but nothing really that you feel like there is some long-term plan. Musically.
I like to say, for me, that was something I was going to say too. I think, for an artist of, first of all, it's very important to understand, the only legacy you can actually leave as an artist is not really about your music, but it's the people that you also be able to leave behind. Because to a certain extent, your music is limited, and then the people that you bring up spread out more, and your name is linked up to any of it. And that's why PDD today is always going to be very, very, very big. Yes. And he's big today because one of his artists, like Biggie, died. Then, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that is still under him today. You know what I'm saying? You get that impact. And much more importantly, I think when you attain a level of success and open a number of doors that you alone have been able to profit from, it is only right that, you know what I'm saying, that you can be able to get other people through there. And the first way to do it is through your label mates, because that's protecting your business as a businessman, understandable. But now if you don't have a label or artist that you pushing out, or you know are under your label, it's kind of like difficult. Like, who do you like? You know what I'm saying? Who do you pass the torch to? Like all this, what's the legacy? Like all these doors you've opened and everywhere you've gone to, and all of this you've done. Like, how does it profit others the next generation? Because there's going to be a complete cutoff. For instance, like, okay, MTV Awards, like nobody is one and one again. You know what I'm saying? It's a total cutoff from that. Like, I think it needs to be a continuous thing, you know. Not like he's responsible for winning the next award, but I mean, like, you know, whatever doors he opens, there should be artists that should follow. He had one artist at a certain point in time.
Who left before we knew?
Yeah, and I must say this because like it was somewhere on the internet. I never got an opportunity to talk about it, but like some Lugar guy on the internet was saying like we didn't take the artist on the show. I just felt like it was an artist came through to the show. They didn't properly. They asked for promotion on the show. We sent them a bill. And they ran away and went on the internet and started talking nonsense. And then a few months after, I heard the artist was not even on label. So, you know, I just feel like to a certain extent, some people are not meant to do certain things, and I don't want to push him to do it. Like you say, if he cannot do it, he cannot do it. But it's just a shame that it's not happening.
Yeah. All right. We've spoken about his music, and now let's talk a little bit about. We've talked about his music, his endorsements, his lifestyle as well. As an artist, I think that's something that we've talked about on Freaky Table. Artists or entertainers lacking lifestyle to, you know, push their careers forward. But this is one man who's got a whole lot of lifestyle for us to pick anything from. I'm just saying, like the way he dresses, the people he meets, where he goes, the fact that he's very scarce. You don't see him as often as perhaps you see somebody else. What does that question? What does that? No, when it comes to his lifestyle.
I don't understand the question, so I need to ask a question to understand.
The question now is,
he has the lifestyle.
He has the lifestyle.
Now you're talking about it. I think he's a very interesting, charismatic figure, but Stanley does not have a lifestyle as an artist. Sorry to say so.
Okay, so why is that?
When I say lifestyle, like a lifestyle is a lifestyle. Like somebody who you don't see, how can you talk about his lifestyle? You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what you're talking about.
Being scared is maybe part of the branding or whatever thing.
Okay, so let me explain. Let me say, for instance. Okay, let me give an example. Unfortunately, we have to go next door to Nigeria. Yes. Okay, Naira Marley has a lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? Just for instance, like all these people, they don't wear belt. That's why I'm not even wearing a belt today. I just felt like I'm gonna come here like a Malian. I'm just saying bullshit, whatever. Actually, I forgot my belt in Douala. But you understand what I'm saying? But he has a lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? These people, when you walk on the streets and you see somebody doing something, you can associate yourself with that person. All right. A little guy, for instance, like even this Belash murder and stuff, right? He has a lifestyle. Any Yahoo boy, anything, they associate yourself with this man because they talk already, man. They talk. I relate to him. You understand what I'm saying? I don't buy like I define money. I do that, and that's the lifestyle that people can associate to. You get what I'm saying? Now, when you ask like, it's true, but there is what lifestyle or who are Stanley fans? For instance, that's what I want to say. Like, who are Stanley fans? They're everybody. They are workers, they are students, they are this, they are that, but there's no particular lifestyle that you can associate to those group of people. And that's what I'm talking. And I think a lot of Cameroonians like that. First of all, I don't think any fish is closest to that.
To having a lifestyle?
Yes, he's closest to having a lifestyle. Fish is actually close to having a lifestyle. His lifestyle is actually one of the things that people might say is holding him a little bit back, but that is a lifestyle because he actually lives that life. He believes in that life. You know what I'm saying? Fish, first of all, for those who don't know, let me explain to you. Fish, for those who don't know, like Fish actually came to Douala and lived on the streets and hustled in the market. You understand what I'm saying? That's why Machete Central holds it closely to him. He still goes there to look for the clothes that he wears still today. You understand what I'm saying? He still knows people around there. And understand, when I say lifestyle, like there's a whole bunch of people who are there who are living a lifestyle. Most of us are on the internet too much, on books too much, read too much to have a lifestyle. Because we're either following Americans or following Nigerians or following these people, but people who live in a certain situation that every day you have to face those situations, you create a lifestyle. And that's what makes it difficult for Cameroonians to have a lifestyle. First of all, too many cultures, too many ethnic divisions, too many things. Difficult for us to follow what is one lifestyle. Malox has a lifestyle. He's just going to drop another song very soon that is going to be about... Yeah. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? That is a lifestyle. Anybody who is out there in the bars, drinking beer, everything knows from day one, we say la beers come beer and till today, now the same that kind of people. That's a lifestyle.
Nabs, I was going to ask you something. Don't you think there are many ways to create that lifestyle? Where
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, because you look at Jovi, right? You don't really see too much of him, but you see him transmit that lifestyle in his music, and that's why Boko Gang is street music. Right?
I don't think Boko Gang has anything to do with his lifestyle.
No. That's what I'm saying. That the music itself, right, has created that aspiration to live Boko. right? That's why if you go to the streets and play music, if I either find the person smoking or they find the person just, it's a hustler, the typical hustler, right? Or people who would defy certain cultural standards. So that's what he has been able to transmit in his music. Rebels, yes, call them like that. Like you. Yeah, so then I think what Stanley is trying to do with the collaboration with Wizkliff is more about with clothing, right? And he did that with Hein Pere, the t-shirts. That was his first lifestyle statement he made, right? Talking t-shirts. He introduced that into the Cameroonian market. It blew everybody now as a designer. Now he's going through another way with the collaboration with Wizkliff. It's something which will take time, but it's going to get there.
What is the concept of the what's the
urban?
No. The thing is, it's about he's an urban artist, right? He's international, and the thing is, if you have to sell a lifestyle, right? What exactly is it you're selling? It could be the way they live, the way they dress, the way they think, and how they operate in society. But right now, what he's doing with Wizkliff, it's a clothing line where you're going to dress, right? Like dress a certain way.
That's what I want to ask.
Which now you may start seeing out in his music, right? Because I think it's an interesting collaboration.
I just want to ask. Like, I'm still not seeing it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like there's no, for instance, like if you tell me, like have you not noticed? For instance, if you tell me you're doing a collaboration with that guy to do Nunu's them teddy bears, I'll say yeah. Now that's a lifestyle that we can see from him.
Have you seen those designs? I think. I spoke with Wizkliff way back when the first time I ever he showed up, and I was like, so why Stanley first of all? Like why did you work with Stanley? You were just a young guy, Bamenda, nobody knew you, and then suddenly, everybody knows you. And he said that he did. I think there was a song, I can't remember, Casanova or something, I can't remember the video, the song. I think that's it. And then there was a jacket that Stanley wore in the video. So when he offered that jacket to Stanley to wear for free, or little or nothing. So when Stanley wore it, suddenly in his small shop in Bamenda, everybody wanted that particular jacket because they saw it in Stanley's video and maybe the way he wore it and they swagged up and everything, and he said suddenly everybody, in fact, people started coming to the shop and say, we want that Stanley's jacket. That's the way they were calling it.
But that's two different things. That is not. Let me just say something. That's not a lifestyle because he didn't even have any idea. Let me just say this, right? It's not a lifestyle, right? He didn't have any. It's not like, you know what? I want to come out here looking like this. He gave him a jacket, right? He wore jacket. It's called influence. It's different between influence and lifestyle.
Yes. But you have an influence through the way you.
But it's not yours.
Yeah.
I think that was a distinction I wanted to make about that. You could have influence, but not necessarily an identifiable lifestyle. So, for example, is there something you can say about Stanley Enow's style that you think that is influential, it's unique to him, and all of that?
I think it's very urban in the way he presents himself.
That was the point I was making. That he's not necessarily showing it in himself, right? Where it's collaborating with somebody who already understands how the culture. I
really don't
want to lose. No. He's using his influence to create a lifestyle to influence.
I think that he's using it to patronize this guy's business. I feel that. I mean, I've patronized them with Wizkliff too when he was starting, but with it was a statement piece. But the truth is, I think that the debate about lifestyle is whether you have something identifiable that people can say, if it's about Stanley's style, this is it. For example, I can say Joan is someone who her lifestyle is, she's very sexy, and I can tell you how she might even dress and the type of things that she's likely to wear and the way she'll carry herself and all of that. Yeah. The question is whether you can, with Stanley, point out these things like identifiable things and say, this is something that...
Let me just give for instance two things. My glasses and my cup is something you see with me for years, for 20 years.
Yes.
You see me with my glasses and my cup.
Say, Nabstar has, and you don't want to go beside the cup like this, what is there?
That's the lifestyle. What is inside my cup can turn into a lifestyle because a lot of people want to know what's in my cup. And if I keep drinking it and acting a type of way, anybody who's going to drink it, it's different between lifestyle and influence.
Which is why I was really impressed when you did 30. The shades,
the 30
shades, because I was like, okay, yes, this is something which is identifiable with him. Exactly. I think even with the former Biggie 2-3 contestant, MC Benja, he's also known for he usually wakes up with shades, so sleeps with it and other things. So it's I think that it's what is identifiable with him. I feel like Stanley Enow is omnipresent, but not there is no one particular.
Well, maybe
the doll.
Exactly.
Maybe the
he go talk.
It was very mismatched for me because you call yourself King Kong and using a teddy bear. Like there's no.
So you really think that King Kong thing literally?
Yeah, I mean, like no. See, Burna Boy calls himself African giant, right? And in most African countries, right? They represent the king of every royal kingdom. For example, even in I think it's Yorubas. They use the ape, right? Yeah. So you see that reflect in even with his concert. You find the ape coming to perform with him there. So it's about finding an extension to your image, right? And it's something that is in sync with what you already.
So you should be carrying it like a King Kong chimpanzee.
No. See, well, yeah, you should do that. No, actually, you should do that. No, the teddy bear is misplaced because
the teddy bear.
Because I mean, it's like coming from Rema, and Rema's lifestyle is very different.
I like the.
He's even following me on Instagram.
Yeah, I love the.
He's following your Instagram.
Yeah,
the thing is that I know that the truth about that teddy bear will come out.
Anyway, I think that Stanley Enow, we all would have the good, the bad, the ugly things that we want to say about him. But we cannot refuse the fact that the guy has done a lot of work and continues to be work to himself. You know, he just keep pushing and listen to corrections or, make amends when he makes mistakes. But we wish him all the best. Tuva Lila is there. Please go watch all his videos.
I mean, big hit.
And yeah, it's a huge hit. So Tuva Lila, we'll be right back.
Fri.PM is brought to you by Nikki Hit Beauty Studio, Mountain Anten Koto, Buna Musari Douala, and Prime 22 Bar and Restaurant, Bukwango, Buya.